really did. No.
Call this meeting to order. I believe everyone got their packets in the mail. In your packet has the minutes from last meeting. Any questions, comments about those minutes? Entertain a motion. Do I have a motion and a second? Second. All those in favor, aye? Aye. Those opposed? All right. Items for consideration.
Hello, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I'm pleased to present items 3A through G. Item A is the recommend to council the approval of project MC0640. This is the replacement of the Windsor Hills neighborhood marker on Northwest 23rd Street between Grand and Portland. We are seeking $35,000 in 2007 GO bond streets listed surplus for this. As you can see from some of the pictures, the marker has been hit a couple times. The first time we were out there and assessing the damage, and then it got hit again. So we're trying to figure out what we need to do. So $35,000 to get that back up there and put some protection to make sure it doesn't get hit anymore.
So some bollards are going to be installed?
Some bollards as we can. It's pretty close right now to the curb line, so something to protect it.
All right. Any questions about the 23rd and Grand, item A?
Is that a historic marker? But, I mean, it's kind of demolished now, so it's kind of not.
Yeah, it's not his.
It's not that old. It's not that old. It's just in a high traffic area that I can see how it's gotten hit a million times.
Yeah, it's in the median. Well, it was during a streetscape project that we did that installed that, and it's in the median, so it has traffic on either side of it. So, I'm not gonna say it's really likely to get hit, but it has a higher probability of getting hit by that. But
for hit and run, there was no insurance that was able to.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Or someone went to jail.
It just seems like there's a need to replace it versus just tear it down. I guess it's my question.
That's a very good question, and
Hi, Debbie Miller. We have an agreement with the Windsor's business group out there, and we worked closely with them during the streetscape to get these markers designed and put in. And by the agreement, we're required to do any major repairs like this, and they want to keep it in this location. There's not room, which is why it ended up there. We're looking at some type of protection to put around it to protect that in case it gets hit again. Okay.
Any other questions on item A? Entertain a motion. Motion. Got a second? Second. Thank you. All those in favor? Those opposed, same sign. Item B.
All right, item B is looking to allocate $700,000 for a project on Wilshire Boulevard between Richland Road and Cemetery Road. This would be a combination of funds of about $474,000 in 2,000 streets listed funds, about $10,000 in 2,000 streets unlisted funds, and $215,000 in 2007 streets listed funds. This is a partner project with the City of Yukon and Canadian County in Ward 1, and this will be for construction. The county will be handling some of the preparatory work, ditches, some of the subgrade work, and City of Oklahoma City and City of Yukon would split the costs of the remaining work.
Any questions about item B? Entertain a motion. Motion from Bill, second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Item C.
Excellent. Item C is PC 0668. This is on May Avenue from Lindley Avenue to Gordon Cooper Boulevard, which is right by the fairgrounds. We're seeking $500,000 in funds from the 2007 Streets Listed Surplus account. This is in Ward 6. In about 2015, we did a resurfacing project on May Avenue from Reno to 10th Street. We did not address this concrete section just because of the different nature of work and the extended repairs that need to be done, especially with the UP Railroad there. At this time, we'd like to go back and address that concrete work.
Does that old rail line still get used?
Yes.
Any questions on item C?
Have we finished all the listed projects for 2007?
We haven't finished all listed projects. We have been addressing them. There's a few listed projects that we've allocated the money for. So the money is allocated on all of them, but we haven't actually finished those projects yet. They are all fully funded. Good terms.
There's a project that seems to be going on there right now south of I-40. Is that related to this area at all, to this project? Because there was a bridge closure I noticed over the weekend where...
The one over the Oklahoma River?
Yes.
That was actually an emergency project where there's a hole in the deck.
Okay.
Yes. So separate work, but yes.
So this is strictly street work, not, you said something railroad.
It's just, we're working with the railroad is a little bit difficult sometimes, and so isolating that from the original resurfacing job was helpful. We will also be looking at what kind of vertical clearance we can get with this additional work. A lot of these panels, as you can see, the condition is in bad shape, so we might have to pull these panels up and replace them anyway. While we're doing that, we're going to see if we can get some additional vertical clearance underneath that railroad. I believe it's about 14 feet 6 inches right now, which, can get a semi unless they have something sticking up, in which case it'll just end up hitting that railroad. So we'll have to see what we can get a little extra room.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion. Got it, second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Item D.
Item D is for PC 0669. This is also on May Avenue, but this is up north more, closer to I-44. This would be between 38th Street and 40th Street. We're seeking $1 million in 2007 street listed funds for this. The agenda actually says this is in Ward 6, but it's actually in Ward 2, and we'll correct that for the council memos. What we have here is, and the pictures don't really do it justice, but the approach slabs leading onto the bridge have a curl to them. So if you're driving over it, you'll have a pretty big bump as you're going onto it. What we're having to do is look at replacing those approach slabs completely. Unfortunately, the approach slab is more or less the entire intersection. And so it's going to be a little bit tricky on mainly the traffic control. Outside of this, up to down to 38th and to 40th, it'll be a matter of looking at the remaining concrete panels, assessing their condition, and providing the proper repair on those as well.
What's the time frame that it takes for them to basically knock down half of that intersection?
Well, it all depends. If they're using high early strength concrete, they can maybe get it done in a week, just because of what will have to go into forming it up and getting the new baskets in there. But with the high traffic area, there'll have to be some very innovative ideas to what to do there.
Any other questions about item D? Entertain a motion. Motion is second. Second. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Item E.
Item E is for PC 0670. This is the intersection of 164th and Santa Fe Avenue. We are seeking $225,000 in street listed 2007 street listed funds. This is a partner project with the City of Edmond. As you can see, the red line there shows the Oklahoma City city limits. We're onto the south and west of that intersection. The City of Edmond approached us that they were doing a project in the green shaded area and wanted to know if we wanted to participate to ensure that there's a consistent pavement going on out there and get the ADA compliances needed on the south side. We thought this was a worthy candidate and wanted to bring it to you guys for a recommendation.
What's the split on this one?
It's not really split, just really whatever is within our city limits we take care of. And so the City of Edmond had calculated the bid tabs, and we're going to go through and verify, but they were saying $225,000 was going to cover us for what we needed.
So if the project's larger than 225, in that the 225 is our P7 is the Oklahoma City,
Yes.
and then Edmond has it.
Edmond has everything else, yes.
Any other questions about item E?
Is it needed, or just trying to keep it to the same concrete?
It's not the worst concrete we have in the city. I'll agree with you on that. It's just one of those things that as they're completing their section, the economies of scale helps us by just getting ours as well. We probably don't have much longer with that concrete. It's in pretty decent shape right now, but just getting it as there's a corresponding project makes the most sense to us.
Cost us more if we wait.
Yes.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion. Thank you. Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Item F.
Item F is for PC 0671. This is for an agreement with the Oklahoma Department of Transportation for the interchange of I-35 and I-240 for the utility relocations. As part of the state statute, the municipalities are responsible for a portion of utility relocations on all interstate and highway projects that the department has. We are seeking $375,000 in funds from the 2007 street listed surplus for this. Right now, the project, and you can see a phasing map from the Department of Transportation, is scheduled for a 2021 award.
I recall seeing on this agenda a while back something else in this area. Are we just going to continue to see some more little here and there as more? Thanks, Debbie. She's so helpful.
Sorry.
It's okay. So we can expect more of these. Okay, that's fine.
Well, and hopefully I know that previously the southwest quadrant has been completed, and I know there's a utility relocation, a separate utility project that was addressing that section. This utility project should be addressing the whole rest of the interchange. What it really is looking at the red lines. That's the outermost project. They just looked at what utility relocations were needed for that, and that's what this is from. I won't say that we won't come back at all for this. This is $375,000 is an estimate for their current.
No, I mean, it was more of a question of not on this particular item. There will be more items as we go through the phase that we're going to see, is my question. There's more for the city to do in this overall plan.
For this project, hopefully this is the bulk of what we have left.
Okay.
The majority of the construction of this 240 I-35 is complete.
The majority of it hasn't been completed. Really just the southwest and a little bit to the west over there by Santa Fe and Shields has been completed. They still have to build new flyovers and new loop ramps, and you can see that in there on the green, yellow, and blue. So there's
You're getting rid of the clover.
about 3/4 of the project left to go.
Oh, no, they're getting rid of the clover leaf, thank God.
Right.
Any other questions? You can entertain a motion.
I recommend it.
Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor, say aye. Those opposed? Item G.
Excellent. Item G is for TC 0501. This is for traffic signal poles and mast arms. We are looking for an allocation of $500,000 in the 2007 street listed surplus funds. What we're trying to do is create kind of an attic stock or an inventory of poles. What we found in our recent projects that we've been working, especially with partners on adding some traffic signals, is that there's about a 20-week lead time to get some poles manufactured. Well, we're trying to reduce that lead time so that as these projects are ready to be awarded, we'll have the poles more or less in stock so that the contractors can come, utilize our poles, and kind of backfill our inventory, but get the projects up and running faster.
How many poles does $500,000 buy you?
Quite a few. About $10,000 will get you a pole. So we'll get, and depending on the size and the mast arm length, $10,000 to $20,000 is about a pole. So we'll be pretty good with poles. We can get quite a few intersections done.
Any other questions for item G?
How long do we think we'll have this inventory in there? I mean, I'm a little concerned about having all this inventory we spent bond money on, and we don't even have a project, all the projects identified?
Sure. There's a few projects identified, especially as we're looking at the 2019 sale year and 2020 sale year. We have the plans developed, and what we'll do is we'll use the poles that are already planned and designed on those and order those first. So those are utilized first. As far as how long we'll have the inventory, we're not real positive right now. We're trying to figure out exactly how this is functioning and how this system will work. That's probably my best answer. We aren't going to just stockpile poles for the rest of our lives, but we'll try to make sure we only buy enough to be useful in the next 5 years.
I'm just not sure that without fully funded projects, we can use bond money to purchase these yet. Would it be a huge problem if we wait and hold this a month so I can research this and look at it? I think legally I need to take a closer look at this one.
Okie dokie.
I was just going to say, I think it's a good idea from a business standpoint, but maybe you can do a projection of like, what's your backlog is, projects for the next 12 to 24 months to be required for the
Sure, that's understandable.
It's a great idea to be ahead of the curve so you're not slowing down your project as you go along, having to wait for polls to come in.
Right.
I don't know that a 5 year.
Right, that may be too long, maybe you can get close to the rules that we have to.
Okay. No, we'll definitely research.
I apologize.
No, not a problem.
I didn't realize we were going to have such a backlog. I didn't read the whole memo.
Okay. I guess we'd show that as just tabled.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we could just
Deferred to the next
defer,
meeting.
yeah, to the
Okay.
next meeting.
Do we have to move that?
Yeah, we might.
Motion for a deferment?
1 month.
1 month deferment?
I'll motion.
A second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? All right. Informational items.
I'm going to go over the GEO bond executive summary. I'm sure that you're aware there's an 85% IRS requirement to spend down bond funds within a 3-year period. And I'm excited to say that the Public Works staff and the Budget Office staff and several people were involved in the process, and they did make the 85% requirement for the 2016 sale year. And again, I would note that this is as of March 31st, and so they still have about a month and a half worth of expenditures that could be applied to this, so they will exceed the 85% requirement on that. In the month of, so I'm going to go back, I wanted to kind of bring that out up front, but in the month of March, there was $14.6 million in bond expenditures. Fiscal year to date, which ends in June, is $60.9 million. And so overall, in a 12-month rolling average, we've had $88.7 million in expenditures for a 12-month average of $7.4 million in expenditures. So that is all.
Any other informational items? Any new business? And items from any of the committee members or citizens to be heard? With that, a motion to adjourn would be awesome. Motion, second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Aye.